The round starts. Before your opponent has even shown you anything, you are already moving. Dash, jab, heat, pressure. You need something to happen. Anything. Then, counter hit, launcher, wall carry. Half your life disappears. Immediately, your mind says, I guessed wrong. But what if you never needed to guess? What if the real mistake wasn't pressing? It was believing you had to create the fight before your opponent had even given you a reason to. One of the biggest differences between average players and elite competitors is that average players tend to force the match, but elite players just let the match reveal itself. Welcome back to How Winners Think. One of the biggest misconceptions in Tekken is that the player doing the most is actually controlling the match. They are constantly attacking, the player constantly pressing, the player constantly just taking initiative. Although it does look like control, it's not. Often, it's actually just impatience, because every unnecessary action creates another opportunity for your opponent. Another chance to counter hit you, another chance to sidestep you, as well as another chance to punish you. And so in this video, today we are exploring why forcing interactions quietly loses matches, why patience creates better opportunities, and why the strongest competitors don't chase momentum, they actually just build it. The fastest way to lose control is really just trying too hard to take it. Most players are uncomfortable with silence. If nothing happens for a few seconds, they tend to feel pressure, not from their opponents though, but from themselves. I need to attack. I need to start pressure. I need to get something going. But where did that pressure come from? It's not the game, it's your own expectations. You have convinced yourself that if you are not doing something, then you are losing. Elite players don't think like that. They understand that observation is always an action. Waiting itself is also an action. Doing nothing can be actually the smartest decision in the entire round. Watch ranked for 5 minutes. You'll notice something. Many players are always, and I mean always, constantly moving around. They are constantly attacking, constantly creating noise. It just feels aggressive. It tends to feel dominant. But then ask yourself, who's actually making the decisions? The player attacking or the player choosing exactly when to respond? Control isn't measured by what you're doing on screen. It's measured by influence. If every action you take is actually quite predictable, then your opponent controls you because they know what is coming. The strongest competitors don't confuse activity with authority. They understand that fewer actions often carry more meaning. You see, pressure is powerful, but only when it has a purpose, okay? Many players pressure simply because they think they should. But if you've watched tournament footage, they've learned frame traps, they've memorized strings, so they repeat them again and again and again. Eventually, their pressure stops asking questions. It starts giving answers. Your opponent has a rhythm when they learn your rhythm, your timing, your habits. Pressure isn't valuable because it's constant. It's only valuable because it's unpredictable. The moment your offense becomes automatic, it then thus becomes readable. Imagine meeting someone for the first time, right? Would you immediately start answering questions they haven't asked? Probably not. You'd want to listen first. Competitive games work exactly the same way. Every opponent is telling you something. Maybe how they move, maybe how they defend, maybe even how they approach neutral, as well as how they react under pressure. But if you are constantly attacking, you're interrupting them. You never let them finish speaking. The best competitors don't rush to express themselves. They become excellent listeners because information always arrives, right, before the opportunity. If you're patient enough to receive it, obviously though. Here's one of the biggest secrets in Tekken. So I need you to maybe jot this down in a piece of book or a notebook or a notepad, or just put it on something that you can remember. Most launchers aren't created by anyone of the sort of a genius. They are created by impatience, okay? Someone swings too early, someone presses one extra button, someone forces an approach, someone refuses to actually just be patient and wait. The opportunity wasn't manufactured, it was, in other sense, offered. That's why elite players often look calm. They are not slower thinkers, they are simply allowing impatience to appear. Then, they punish it. Patience isn't passive, it's quite literally and quite honestly preparation. You see, the goal of Tekken, right, isn't to force every opening, it's to recognize them. Imagine standing in neutral. Instead of thinking, how do I get in close and hit them? Ask, how do I encourage them to whiff and make a mistake? That question changes everything. Now you're creating situations, not forcing outcomes. You become patient, observant, deliberate, and then suddenly your opponent starts taking risks because you are no longer giving them free opportunities. You're waiting for them to give one to you, and thus that creates real control. During your next rank session, I want you to do this for me, okay? And don't forget to like the video, maybe even hype it up a little. Try something different. For the first 10 seconds of every round, don't force offense. Just observe, okay? Simply observe. Watch how your opponent move, how they approach, how they defend. Then I want you to ask yourself, what is my opponent trying to accomplish with this? Not how do I attack? You'll be surprised at how much information has occurred/appeared when you stop trying to create it. Every competitive player wants momentum. Yeah, that's true. But momentum isn't something that you chase. It's something that you earn. Because every unnecessary attack, every forced interaction, every impatient decision gives your opponent another chance to punish you. The strongest competitors understand something very simple. They don't force opportunities. They just tend to recognize them much more. Because the match is constantly revealing answers. But then the question then becomes, are you patient enough to see them? So, if you remember one thing from this video, I want you to remember this. Stop forcing the fight. Start inviting mistakes. The next time you load into ranked, pay attention to your first few seconds. Then ask yourself, am I attacking because it's the right time, or because I'm uncomfortable waiting? Because those are two completely different reasons. One creates pressure, the other creates problems. This has been how winners think. Until next time, the strongest players don't make the game happen. They actually just let the game reveal itself. Think first.